Anything changed since we last saw you? Any new developments? Any guys improve? Anything like that?
Pretty much what we expected to happen. Nate's played really well, but we only went twice.
Dak said that he's been working a lot on his leadership over the offseason. Have you seen a development in that from the short time that you have been able to see him play?
We only went 2 times. It's hard to. They've all been good all summer, from the running part to the lifting part. But give me about another couple weeks.
When you're telling these guys to step up and become leaders, what are some of the things that you're looking for out of them to fill that role?
You lead by example. It's one thing to sit and talk and to try to tell people what to do. It's another thing to go out and do it and lead by example. And JC's been great, and Nate's been great. Those 2 guys, I think, probably stand out more than anybody else does. It's a long season, and so consistency becomes imperative when you're playing that long, and when you're playing in a league as hard as what the Big 12 has been.
What changes have you seen out of Elijah, Coach?
I think he's tried to rebound a little bit more. I think he understands. We lost a lot from a rebounding standpoint, so I think he's focused a little bit more on that. How are you, Justin? Good.
Tariq said he's starting to see Elijah kind of figure it out a little bit. Is that maybe something that you've seen too, or how does that work for guys like that?
Everybody, I think, it happens at a different time. Some of it never happens. But, I think he's getting pushed. I think, Sagbon has played really, really well. I think, Magic shoots the ball really well. Brandon's played better than Brandon's ever played. And Nate's played terrific. So, I think he's getting pushed. I think that's part of it. There's not as big a gap, as what we had before. So.
Coach Elijah was talking about the first week of practice. You're a little bit more mellow this year than maybe you have been in the past.
It's your influence. Read those columns that you write, and it's just kind of soothing. If they play, all you can ask is that they play hard and listen, and they've played hard and listened. I'm sure we'll have a day when they don't do one or the other, and it probably won't be as mellow. But as long as they play hard, I'd rather coach them than I would try to motivate them.
How often do you see them over the summertime? How much work do they put in?
Somebody sees them. I don't always see them, but excuse me, Andy sees them more than anybody else. The way the rules are structured, the guy who's around them the most is Andy Kettler. That's why it's so important that you have a great strength coach, and we're very fortunate to have one of the best. Hey, Mess, will you grab that water right over there for me? Excuse me, I'm sorry. I've got something in my throat here. No, we see them. We've done a lot of from just team building things to team building things to the 2 hours a week has helped around them a lot more. I don't necessarily coach them all the time then. The assistants do more, and I just kind of when I'm there, I'm just there watching. I think sometimes they hear the same voice too much. I'm tired of kind of turn it off.
Right now, Nate, the guy that's going to be at the front of the press.
Yeah, we haven't done anything with the press yet, and then Nate will be the primary guy, and then we'll look at whether Magic is suited to be up there or Lamont. Probably Brandon has played up there a little bit.
We're going to hear about Nate's surprising foot speed this year.
No. Maybe his beard or his hair. But I'd say a better chance that somebody talks about his beard or his hair than his foot speed.
What if Keanu Reeves?
I don't know what it is. I thought maybe Brad Pitt.
How Holton-like is that guy? There might not be an exact substitute for him, but obviously all those guys are long and can move a little bit. I guess I feel the question, but can the press be as effective without John? I mean, those guys are going to be.
I think it was, really. I mean, I think we didn't lose anything when we put Nate in. Well, Nate's just he's got to not make the dumb fouls because we need him in the game. He's got a good understanding of what's supposed to happen. He does a good job with angles. I think John was just pretty much length. Nate's lateral quickness is good or better than John's. It's just he doesn't have the length that John has. But he makes up for it in other ways. He understands angles really well.
Was that something you saw out of him when he was in high school, or something that he's developed since he's got here, you think? His understanding of angles?
They needed to score in high school, You've got to be really a dumb high school coach to put your best player on the other team's best player and have him foul out.
Right.
They generally play the worst team, the worst guy. So it's hard that part's hard to judge.